is expecting Foles to have that game. Go back to the NFC Championship with Vikings and Eagles. Case Keenum finally had that game where just wasn't on it and turned the ball over. And I think people are expecting Foles is going to have that game. And how do you think Carson Wentz feels? Here you are, out with a torn ACL, done for the season, and your team is playing in the Super Bowl. Don't you think there's just a part of him that says, I don't want them to win this without me? I mean, yes, you're there, but somebody else is on the field. And like it or not, Nick Foles has had similar numbers to Carson Wentz since he's taken over. That's why I told everybody, forget the whole Carson Wentz MVP talk. When you're not in the game, when you go down and your team is still playing for the Super Bowl, it's kind of hard at that point to argue that you're the MVP of the league. Now, I do think the Eagles are the better all-around team than New England. I believe they have the better defense. I believe they have the better running game. But it's going to come down to, can you execute it? The 2 Super Bowls that the Giants beat New England in, they were able, now granted, except for some fluke plays, you know, that Mario Manningham catch, that David Tyree helmet catch, but they did what they needed to do to beat New England. They had the plan, they had the personnel. That's the question for Philly. Everybody knows, it's no secret, everybody knows what the blueprint is to New England. Don't let Brady get the ball out fast. Rush 4, get to him as much as you can, and be 1 second quicker than he is. And then his receivers are. Brady's probably going to throw the ball 40, 50 times in this game. And the only thing that I look at in this game is New England doesn't have a running game like it did last year. Still has a good running game, but it's not the same as they did last year. And 2 players that are on Philly, LeGarrette Blount and Chris Long, were on New England last season. Now, New England, we all know, it's no secret, they change their scheme and designs week by week, game by game. They'll do one thing one week, and then the next week it'll be something totally different. It's going to be tough. I'm not saying that Philly can't do it, but I don't think it's... I'm still taking New England. You know, picked them at the start of the year. I'm not going to sway off of that. But too many people are acting like that Philly can't do this. Similar to what we all said with the Giants. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. And everybody's saying this with Philly. Well, they've been saying it since Carson Wentz went down, yet here they are. But I think a lot of people are believing that Foles is going to have that game, where he's just going to be off. New England's going to get to him, and is going to expose that team, and is going to expose Nick Foles. And do you think that Bill Belichick wants to... Now, granted, him and Brady's legacy and dynasty is set. They don't need this Super Bowl to lock it down anymore. But you got to believe part of Belichick is sitting there saying, I can't let a team with Nick Foles at quarterback beat me for the Super Bowl. I'm okay losing to Eli Manning twice. I'm not okay losing to Nick Foles once. I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't agree with the analysts and broadcasters that are saying that it's going to be a blowout. New England's going to wipe the field with them. I don't think it's going to be that one bit. But I do think Brady's going to throw the ball 40 to 50 times. Their defense is going to make Nick Foles beat them. They are going to take Ajayi and Blount away. They are going to make Nick Foles have to beat them. And I think that's going to be the difference. Because it's like I said, we all know what the blueprint is. It comes down to, do you have the personnel? And even though I think that Philly defense is great, I don't think they have the right personnel to beat Brady in New England. Everybody's got the blueprint, but it comes down to, do you have the personnel? And I don't think that they do. Some people are making the argument, because how Belichick and Brady have been acting the past couple of weeks, that this is it. That win or lose, this is it. You know, Belichick last night was out at a Timberwolves and Bucks game. Now, he's great friends with Tom Thibodeau, back when Tom Thibodeau was with the Celtics. And granted, has Belichick been more candid and open in the past couple weeks? Does it seem like he's enjoying this more than what he usually does? Yes. Has Brady let us more into his lives with the whole Tom versus time stuff and all the other things that he's doing? Yes. But I don't believe that's any inclination that this is going to be it. I don't think if they win this Super Bowl, I don't think that both of them are going to get up there and say, all right, it's been great. We've done everything we've wanted to do. See you later. I still believe Belichick wants to do this without Brady. As much as he loves and respects Brady, I think that Bill really wants to do what he's done since 2001, since this dynasty started, against Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and the Rams. Back when this whole thing got off. I think part of Bill wants to do this without Brady. So I don't believe, for the people that are kind of the grassy knoll stuff saying, oh, you know, Belichick's laughing more, he's going out more, Tom's letting us in his life more, you know, this isn't the Patriots way here, what's going on? I don't think, in my opinion, it's any inclination that they're going to hang it up, win or lose, on Sunday. I said, after they beat Atlanta in last year's Super Bowl, especially the way that they did it, that's where I believe that if either one of them was going to walk away, that's when it was going to happen. And then you have people saying, well, you know, Belichick is helping Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia get jobs. What's up with that? He's done that before, folks. He did that with Romeo Crennel. He's done that before. He's lost both coordinators before. This isn't a first here. He's lost Josh McDaniels before. McDaniels, he helped him get the Denver job years back. So that, again, are there some wacky things with how Belichick and Brady are acting? Yes, there is. There's no question about that. They're giving you more access. Belichick is kind of showing his how can I say it, his less professional side. He's not showing you that whole shut down, not going to smile, I'm going to give you mumbling answers, I'm not going to let you in. Has he kind of veered off of that in the past couple of weeks? Yes. But I don't think that any of this, McDaniels getting a job with Indianapolis, Patricia getting a job with Detroit, Belichick being more open, Tom letting you in his life more, I don't think that any of this is an inclination that they're going to hang it up after Sunday. Now, would I be surprised if it happens? Not really. But do I think it's going to happen? No. And like I said, I still believe there's part of Bill that wants to win a Super Bowl without Brady. He wants to show people, I can do this without this piece. And he's done it with plenty of other pieces. And again, that's one of the reasons I'll always will put Brady in front of Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, all of them. It's not just because of the 5 Super Bowls and hopefully soon to be 6. It's because of what he's done it with. Except where he had Randy Moss for a couple seasons, he's never had a big-time receiver. He made Deion Branch. He made Wes Welker. Look at what he's done with Amendola and Edelman. Brady has done more with less than anybody before. And that's what defines a great quarterback. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne for years. Then he went to Denver and had Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Tom Brady has never really had that prolific receiver. And they're constantly plugging and going. It's that whole system that works. Belichick knows how Brady works. Belichick also knows what works with that system. And they continuously, even when guys leave and it's a revolving door and people say, why did they get rid of this guy? Why did they do that? They continuously make it work. So Alex Smith was traded to the Washington Redskins. Where does Kirk Cousins go? I think he's going to end up in Jacksonville. I really do. I think that he is going to end up in Jacksonville. It's going to be interesting to see how Alex Smith pans out in Washington because Andy Reid gave him very good weapons last season. You can't make that argument about Alex Smith anymore in his last season with Kansas City. He had weapons there. And I do believe Alex Smith is underrated. He is underrated. When he's had great weapons, he's ended up being a very good quarterback. Now, you can make the argument of, well, playoff wins, blah, 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 blah. Even Joe Flacco has won a Super Bowl. And that's another story. Ozzie Newsome of the Ravens, general manager, after this coming season is going to be gone. And there's talk that John Harbaugh is on the hot seat. That he's on the hot seat there in Baltimore. They've missed the playoffs 4 of the last 5 seasons. Really haven't done much since they won that last Super Bowl. But when you look at best options for Kirk Cousins, and my whole thing is, did Washington really get any better here? Trading for Alex Smith. Did you really get any better at quarterback here? And it's not like they got Alex Smith for cheap. They had to pay a pretty hefty price to get him. And apparently Kirk Cousins knew nothing about this. Now you can sit there and say, well, Kirk Cousins had the chance to take deals. He didn't. Part of it's on him. But on the other side of the fence, did Washington get any better at quarterback here? Did getting Alex Smith make them any better than what they had with Kirk Cousins? Now, we won't know the answer for that for a while. And it's going to be interesting to see where Kirk Cousins lands. I think Arizona is probably going to be the team that's really going to try to pull him. And I personally believe that they got the best chance to get him. I think Arizona has the best chance to get him. But on the other side of the fence, if you're Kirk Cousins, you can sit there and go, well, look at what's in Jacksonville. I got a better chance at getting to a Super Bowl with what's there at Jacksonville than I do if I go to Arizona. But with Alex Smith, and this is not something we haven't seen before from Washington. They acquired. And again, it's Andy Reid. Back when Andy Reid was at Philly, he shipped Donovan McNabb to Washington. We all know how that panned out. And here you go, Andy Reid again, shipping a veteran quarterback to Washington. And Andy Reid has a knack for knowing when to let guys go, especially quarterbacks. He's got a knack for that. Now, this could all backfire. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't pan out to be what apparently a lot of people in Kansas City believe he's going to be, this could heavily backfire for them. Because with one player, they could literally go from being a